What's up, everybody? We're live. We're live. We're live. What's up, everybody? Brooklyn and the family is officially back. How's everyone doing? We got a mission show today, so we're gonna jump right into it. So to my right is my beautiful wife, Jazzy.
Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Hope you guys enjoy the show.
All right, next up is my sister Sharon.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. Hope you enjoy the show and get very informed today on what's going on.
All right, next up is my sister True.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Missing.
All right, next up, my sister Patty.
Hey everyone, welcome to Missing, and let's see if we can bring this young lady home.
Absolutely. Next up is my brother Dre.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Missing. Happy Sunday to everyone, and hopefully, you guys enjoy the show.
All right, before I start, I just want everybody let everybody know Shrinking Sharon is an official part of the family. She will be on all the shows, if she can, so everybody shout out to Shrinking Sharon. She's part of
Yay!
the family.
Congrats, Sharon. I'm happy
Yay,
about
Welcome.
that.
Sharon! Welcome,
Thank
Good,
you.
good.
welcome.
Thank you. Glad
Yeah,
to be here.
yeah. Welcome her. I want
Appreciate it.
everybody to welcome Shrinking Sharon in the chat. All right. So what we talking about today?
All right, so we are talking about a young lady named Phoenix Coldon, who is the daughter of Goldie and Lawrence Coldon. This young lady was born in California, and her name was Phoenix Reeves when she was born. Um, her mother married Lawrence, and so her name became Phoenix Reeves. Um, then her father, her stepfather, I would say, had a job and they moved to Missouri. Um, Phoenix was disappeared on December 18th, 2011. So it's been about 10 years since she's been missing. This young lady was very sheltered. She was homeschooled, which they said that she participated in. A lot of extra curriculum like fencing. She was a person who likes to soak up knowledge, and she did very well as far as her academics were concerned. Her family did was very religious. They went to the church every Sunday, so and she did live a very sheltered life. One of the things about this, what makes it so strange is that she graduated from school. She went to college for 2 years, so she did move out of her parents' home. So I think that kind of made her a little vulnerable as far as being out on her own. Um, all right, Dre.
Yeah, to pick up where Patty left off, like she said, her parents was very strict, and she lived a sheltered life. Um, also, a lot of the things that our parents had her in, as far as learning how to play the piano and the violin, this was some of the things that the parents wanted her to see her do, but this is not necessarily what Phoenix wanted to do, according to some of the research that I'd done. And like Patty said, she lived a sheltered life, and when it was time for her to go off to college, um, she her mother and father got her a one bedroom apartment, and during that time frame, she had already met a person of interest. His name was Michael B. And I think once she got out of the house, growing up being sheltered like that, yeah, they were very religious and spiritual people, but I don't think that they actually talked to her about life, to be honest, because
Uh,
it seems like when she got out of the house, uh she totally changed. So this she was mentally vulnerable to someone, like Michael B. He could have had a lot of play on what happened to Phoenix at the time, because she was mentally vulnerable. Jazzy, you want to elaborate?
yes. I agree with you far as the mom being very, very strict on her. Once she moved out, she told her mom that she and her girlfriend was sharing that apartment, and come to find out there was no girlfriend, there was the guy, Michael B, and they were sharing an apartment. But after 4 years that she was on her own, her mom finally told her, "No, you have to come back home." And once she, came back home, things, her and her mom was not getting along because I guess she was unhappy to come back home. She wanted to be out on her own. But as I was saying earlier, you, yes, your child can be well educated, but you have to be street smart. You have
Hmm.
to learn how to get along in the world. And if you don't have that, anybody could come up to you and talk you into anything because you don't have that street smarts. So, Sharon, what do you think about this story?
Yeah, I think it's a pretty sad story. You're correct about it. She was very sheltered. Some stories say that she was adopted, some don't. So, and even though she was very sheltered, she was homeschooled. She did have some successful things that she was in. She was very talented in music. She was into high on the fencing team. She got honors and stuff in that. So she did very well in school. She was very smart, very, go getter. Like I said, once she went to college and she got out, she started keeping secrets. She started changing. Even with her friends, she and her best friend, it fell out, and they made back up, but they had fell out. And to the point where right before she ended up missing, they fell out again for a little bit. Also, with the Michael guy, she did tell her parents the story and said that she was moving in with a friend of hers, but she ended up moving in with the Michael guy. But when her mom came there to see the apartment, she said she didn't just come there and just hang out. She searched everything. She looked in closets, looked under beds, looked in bathrooms, and she couldn't see any sign that there was a man there. So her mom definitely went there to go look. Another thing about Phoenix too, she was having problems with her boyfriend Michael. She was having problems with him, and she started talking to this guy. They called him a cell phone. They would never said his
Yeah.
name on a couple of. Pardon me.
Right. Cell phone Mike.
Cell phone. I mean, not cell phone Mike, but it was another her main boyfriend and cell phone Mike.
Yeah.
But both
And
of
she
their
just
names were Michael.
yeah, both of
Yes.
them Mike, but
Mm-hmm.
one was Mike and the other one was cell phone Mike.
Right.
Right.
So yeah, I forgot both of their names for Mike. But anyway, so she was like going back and forth between the both of them and stuff. So she wasn't sure even what she was going to stay in a relationship with Michael or not. Truth.
This is a very, very sad story. The parents overbearingly didn't give her any space, no freedom. Like you said, Sharon, she was coming over her house and she was still searching around the house looking for some evidence. The mom and the dad was they have a lot to do with that girl maybe missing because she got tired of them, overbearing over top of her.
Right. Let me just say something before you pass it to Patty. The mom, she was so strict. She told them that she wanted her daughters to sit up straight,
Yeah.
cross her knees at cross her knees at the ankle, not at the top, because if you cross your knees at the top, you're showing too much. I mean, she was really, really overbearing,
Yeah.
and I felt like this girl, she had no wind, she had
Right.
nowhere to turn.
Right.
So
Right.
she went the wrong direction. You can shelter your child, but you have to give your child space. I mean, that's just my personal opinion.
Right.
So, Patty,
Yeah, and Jazzy and Dre, here's where I think I would agree with. This is sex trafficking because they did find her Bronco. Is what was that? What she was driving, and
Mhm.
they found that Bronco or her car maybe a day or so at this time she wasn't reported missing.
Mhm.
But when they did find it, her door was open, the car was still running. It was like someone just snatched her out of the vehicle. And then a couple weeks later, after the mom and dad did report her missing, that's when they said they found the Bronco. I'm
Right,
sorry, it
right.
was a 1998 Chevy Blazer. I'm
Laser.
looking at
Yep,
him,
yep.
Mhm.
that they had found. And here's where you have a child who's been living a very sheltered life. You don't
Mm-hmm.
know anything about the streets, as I would say. And then you get an opportunity for 2 years to live out on your own. You have two phones, you got two guys. The second one, they said that he had a temper, and where she was found was known for sex trafficking, or where
Mhm.
they were
Right,
they could
right.
find people, because she was in St. Louis and she lives in Missouri. So her
Mm,
parents were like, well, what is she doing way over there?
right.
She has no business. She would not know anything about that particular area. So
Mm,
I think someone did because by her being so naive to society, anyone could have just kind of snatched her and just made something as
right.
far as taking her somewhere, because they did find her, where a friend of hers saw her on a plane with other women, and they were saying that there was two football types of guys that were walking with her. So she had on jewelry, she looked well put together. So I don't know, I might think this one might have something to do with sex trafficking. What you think, Dre?
Yeah, let's get into the meat of the story. So I'm gonna
Yes,
tell
there
you
you
right
go.
off the bat, I think that she's still alive, and I think she is caught in the human trafficking ring. And let's take it back a little bit. So, when they found her car door was open, the keys was in the ignition, and they said the car was running. But her mom, Delia, she hired a private investigator, and the police, come to find out, the police who found her car at the time, uh, in East St. Louis. If a lot of people not familiar with East St. Louis, I've been to East St. Louis. I had friends that used to live in East St. Louis, and my father-in-law's from East St. Louis. East St. Louis is not a place you want to play around in. So, the police that found the car said no. The car door was shut, no keys in ignition, the car wasn't running, and so on and so on. So this here raised some speculation on my part. So by East St. Louis being one of the top human trafficking rings in the country, they so call it, uh, you know, this here goes a little bit deeper than just people involved in this human sex trafficking ring. You got, I'm gonna say it, you got police involved, you got the government involved. This is a big money making business.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So the
Mm-hmm.
so the police who found it, I'm assuming that he had something to do with it because he wanted to throw the investigator off the trail.
Mm,
And like Patty D said, also when her ex-friend, that she knew from church, had spotted her on a plane coming from Vegas back to St. Louis, and her friend called her name out, and Phoenix turned around and asked the girl, "Hey, do I know you?
yeah.
Or do you think I look like someone?"
Mm,
And by her being in Vegas, I don't know if you guys know, you got legal brothels and you got illegal brothels.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So, that's where a lot of the business is done. These women go back and forth to Vegas because that's where a lot of the big spenders are. To
Mm-hmm.
take it back, uh, I don't want to get off subject, but you remember that's where they found Lamar Odom. They found him in a brothel
is that
in
Right.
right?
Vegas
They
Right.
did. Yes,
during,
they
Right.
during
did.
that time
Yes,
frame.
they did.
Can I
So, yeah,
can
go
I
ahead.
say
Go ahead,
okay?
Shrink Sharon.
I wanted to say real quick because Young Q was asking some questions. Is very
Yeah, I
that
was
we
gonna
didn't
come
mention.
to it, Sharon, but go
Oh,
ahead.
okay, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. She's 23 years old. She was 23 years old at the time of her disappearance. She was
Yeah.
23 years old, and she was last seen. She was last at her parents' house She was going to go shopping, and she just walked past her dad. Told her mom bye and everything, and she just disappeared. And also, real quick, when she left, which wasn't that too far from where she lived, but it was right across state lines as well. So
Right, right,
like I said, and then like I said, they acted the same way like they do with a lot of people when they first was said she was missing. Well, she's an adult, the police didn't make a big deal of it because she's an adult, like they usually do.
Right.
And even when her car was missing, like they said, it was over there in the impound or whatever. And like I said, it was a few days before it was even noticed that was even her car.
right, right. And where they found the car, which was on I-70, which is known as one of the
Yep.
most high traffic and sex ring corridors in the US,
Yep.
Yeah. And she left alone. She didn't leave with anybody. She just got in her car and left alone. And last they said she didn't say where she was going shopping. She just said basically she was about to go shopping.
Right, but you guys remember she found two birth certificates, one in Golden and
Yeah,
one
that
in
was crazy.
Reeves, and she stole
Yeah.
$25,000 from her
Yep.
mom.
Yes, she
Yep.
did.
So who knows
Yeah.
really what this girl was thinking? But then they were saying that she was saying that somebody was following her. She was
Yep.
scared something was going to happen to her, so she started
Mhm.
losing it.
Yeah.
She
Uh,
started losing it,
right,
guys.
right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
wish
Let
they
me.
hadn't. Go ahead, Brooklyn. Go ahead.
Yeah. I like to listen before I chime in. Because I like to hear everybody's opinions on what's going on and what they think. Sorry, John Q. I was gonna come to your question because I was just waiting my turn. Right. Me, this is another tragic story. Anyone that goes missing, it's a tragic. The way that I read a little bit of the story. I'm not gonna say I read the whole thing, but the way that this story started, from the child being rebellion in the home. So it started at home first. You
Oh,
know,
absolutely.
um the mother wouldn't let the child go out and play. I'm just gonna put it in those terms and do certain activities that the young lady wanted to do. Right. So this is like a lesson learned. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, um, to let your child run wild, but this is a learning experience. Your child is a human just like you. When we was coming up and our parents didn't let us do certain things, we was rebellion at one time also. I know I was, you know, and I didn't like it, and my mom's put me out. You understand? Thank God that she taught me well, and I survived. Everyone do not survive the streets. you
Mhm.
know the streets is rough. You gotta let your child get out there. I'm not saying just let your child go out and you don't know what they doing. Get them a little bit of rope so they can see what's going on out there, and then they can decide rather, let them get hurt. Let them get hurt so they can see what's moving on. That's not for me. But when you smother a kid for so long and so much, this is what happens. And I think that guys bounce back, but not I ain't gonna say they bounce back because some of them go out in the world and they wind up not making it back home. So, I'm not gonna say that. So, but you have to give your child a little bit of rope. You can't smother your kid, because this type of stuff happens. I seen this all the time. I read the news, I watch a lot of stuff, but I listen more than I talk. That's why when I come on, I don't say anything because I want to hear the facts first before I make my decision on what I feel that is the right thing to say. And I'll tell you time after time, it always starts at home. If you want, everybody want their child to grow up and be this perfect person in the world. Is no such thing. There's no such thing as a perfect child or person because in order to learn, you have to make mistakes. If you
Absolutely.
don't make mistakes, you're not going to learn. But smothering and letting your child make a mistake is two different things. You know, that's like when the way I read the story is like the child was entrapped in her home. So instead of, this happened to her, maybe this is a lesson learned to the mother, to the parents, or whatever. You entrapped her in your home. She left your home. Now she's in that situation outside because you never taught her. All you did was shelter her, which was cool. It's cool. But now look at the outcome. It's sad situations when I hear these stories. These stories is terrible. It's terrible. Just like my kids. I was rough on my kids. Yes, I was. But I let my kids go out and do activities. Easter came and certain things came. They went out with their friends and stuff like that. The way this story went, the child couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
Y'all had no life. But before you start, Dre, before I give it back to y'all, let me shout out to everybody in the chat first. Boss man, pleasure to see you, bro. All right, Octavia, coming down the line. We got the family here, so I'm gonna skip the family. Coming down, coming down, coming down. Right, coming down. I see everybody talking. All right. I see Vincent. Welcome, Vincent. Pleasure to see you, Vincent. All right. Coming down, coming down. Motor City. Welcome. Welcome to the family, Motor. All right. Coming down, coming down. I'm moving fast. All right. Coming down, coming. John Q. That's my friend. John Q. Welcome, John. Glad you can make it. All right. Always a pleasure to see you also. All right. I'm coming down. I'm going to make it quick. I'm coming down. Coming down, coming down. I don't want to miss nobody. I see Tom. Welcome, Tom. All right. Welcome to the family, Tom. All right. Coming down, coming down, coming down. All right. I saw Tadal in here also, right?
Yes.
Welcome, Tadal. Welcome, bro. Good to see you. I hope you're feeling well.
And
Yeah.
also Motor City Scratchers. Welcome.
Yeah. That's what I
Snatcher.
said. Motor. Yeah. I just said motor.
And Debs.
Debs.
Degs.
Diggs. I don't. I skipped that. I didn't see
Yep.
that. Well,
Yeah.
welcome. Welcome to the family, everyone. Right. Yeah. It's sad. It's sad. These stories is terrible, terrible. It one thing to the next, and what I come to find out that everything leads to human trafficking. Why do y'all think that this story is have something to do with human trafficking? Y'all want y'all to elaborate on that, so y'all can take it from there. Whoever y'all want to go, Jazzy, Dre, we go to
Well,
Jazzy. Jazzy, why would you think that?
I'm not too sure about that.
Do you think it has a part to do with human
It
trafficking,
may or it may have something to do with somebody
abducting her?
abducting her, or also,
Yeah,
somebody
that's true.
prostituting her out.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Okay,
it's
so
it's
who?
it's a variety of things that I think may have happened to her. Now, far as me thinking that she's deceased, I'm not going to think that way because I don't want that to be that way for her.
Right.
right.
Yeah.
So
Before
who think that she was caught in the human trafficking?
I
Who?
do. And only
You?
reason I say that is a very nice looking young lady. She is homeschooled. She is naive to the streets.
Yes.
Um, and any it just seems if you and Jesse, I have to agree with you. If you're not careful, you can get caught up in this stuff very easily. And by her being so naive, and you have two Michaels, and then you have a second phone, that means that you're hiding something. Maybe
Yes.
you're talking secretly to someone else. And because a couple of times they said that she was in the car for a long time talking on the phone, so that means that you're having kinds of conversations that some of us would be kind of leery of. My question to you all would be, by her living this sheltered life and her being found in St. Louis, what do you think would be some of the things that could may or may not have happened to her? True, what do you think?
I think that between the boyfriends, I
Mhm.
think something might have went wrong there.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. The
Yep.
reason why I asked y'all that is because the mother said that she not the mother, well, the guy, the gentleman, that when I was reading, he said that he seen her. He seen her 2 times, and this was like a few years after she
Yeah.
was reported missing.
Yeah. That was
So
the second friend.
yeah,
Exactly.
that was a friend. So if somebody abducted her or whatever, how was someone able to see her 2 years after the fact?
Right.
So that's what's
Right.
puzzling me. That's what's bothering me.
Well,
You know
get
what I'm saying?
this.
My question then becomes, if you did see her and she was dressed nicely, what does that tell you?
Right.
Right.
She ran away.
It
You
That's
all
what it's
think?
comes.
telling me.
Oh,
It's
It
okay.
all. It
Okay.
all comes back.
Possibly.
right. That's what it's
Possibly.
telling me. It's telling me that she ran away. She wanted to be free because she felt that she was locked up in her home, in her own home that she lives every single day. You
She.
know, she didn't like that environment, so she had to get out. So, I don't really don't know. You know, I'm going both ways with this, but by me checking out, everything, and and whatnot, and I'm saying, well, this girl ran away. That's first off. She ran away first off. Ain't nobody came and she walked down the block and they snatched her and threw her in the car and took off with her. And then that's that. No, that didn't happen that way.
Well,
This girl
let's.
left out. Well, it's just like I'm leading into the two Michaels. You see,
Right.
John Hughes talking about the two Michaels,
Right.
right? You talking about the
Yeah.
two Michaels. So
Yeah, the two Michaels.
did she go with one of the Michaels? Like,
But
ran away with them?
what I'm
He
saying
was
though.
playing both of them.
What I'm saying is they still had a curfew on the girl, and she was 23 years old when she went missing. So a lot of this goes back to the parents being uh overbearing and having
Right?
her grow up as too sheltered. Who
Yeah.
has a still has a curfew at 23 years old? She couldn't
Yeah,
do anything.
I
Yes.
You
agree.
know.
I agree. They looked at her as a child because of the simple fact that remember she was on her own, and I know part of it could have been affordability, but they did make her come back home. She just came back home to
Right.
live when this happened as well. So it could possibly be her, or it could possibly be someone that really looks like her. So
Yeah. But she ran
that's
away at
interesting.
first off. That's the whole
Hmm.
first thing.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
ran away for
But she's
whatever
been
reason.
missing for 10 years.
Yeah,
I
she's been
mean,
10
missing for
years.
10 years.
come on.
But
I
the
have to say
foul
something to my
play,
mom.
the foul play could have happened later on.
But
Oh,
it's crazy
You
because
understand? Not
right.
not when she left. That's not
oh,
the
okay.
reason why she left.
Okay.
Because
Gotcha.
usually the stories that we deal with, we get foul play right off the bat. This is not one of those cases where it was foul play from the gate.
Right.
She ran away because she wasn't happy at her home.
I'm I'm not sure if she ran away. I just think she just left. I think she just
What
23
you
years
call
old.
leaving then? Running away, right?
She
Mm,
got with the wrong people.
Prison
she
is
got
definitely
Yeah,
I can even go with that one.
but what did she
right.
do with the $25,000?
Right, because she did steal $25,000 worth of saving bonds from her mom.
So
25,000.
You heard
that was
Postman? He said she was
That
23 years old though.
yeah, yeah, that
that
I
was
mean,
sounds like
it,
she made a new beginning.
no,
Yeah,
no,
she
that
made
was
it.
with
Yeah.
that
See,
25,000 she
50-year-old
took.
ran away. See, and John Q, he agreed also. You see,
Mm.
she ran away.
No,
That's the
no,
first thing. She ran away because she wasn't happy at home. You know, we don't know what happened to her after that because someone seen her 2 years after the fact. You
yeah,
see,
the
she was
20
roaming 2 years after the fact, roaming. When people abduct, snatch you up the street, you don't never be seen. She was seen 2 years after.
Yeah,
well,
but they
allegedly
weren't
say
really
she was
sure that
adopted. Okay.
yeah, they didn't that's because even when the girl said that she had seen someone missing and she reported it, they never did see the girl again. So
Mm-mm.
it could have been someone who resembled her. My thing
Or
is
Right.
maybe
that
she
this
ran away again because she see that people recognize her. So I gotta leave. She ran again.
but do you think she was that smart? Now we're saying that she was sheltered, and I don't know that if she was that smart enough because she left her 1998 blazer on the side of the road. And if I'm gonna leave, I'm gonna park it somewhere that, hey, I
Yeah,
don't want nobody to find it. I'm gonna pack my bags and I'm gone.
but
She didn't take anything with
yeah, but
her.
she
They
got
had her
people.
But she
phone, they had her
wasn't.
Got
purse.
people in her ear. She got people in her ear
Yeah,
saying,
but
Hmm.
she
"Hey, they
wasn't.
they
She
looking for
wasn't
you.
that
They,
naive.
they're gonna find your car. They're gonna do this and that." Somebody was schooling her.
Yeah,
Remember, she
because
was in the
somebody.
car and they said that she had a video. She was doing a video about how she was feeling, that, that there was, because this is after she found the birth certificate, and I'm two birth certificates, and maybe she didn't know that her stepfather wasn't her biological father, and she
Mhm.
was in a car and she was depressed, and she was saying the only person she could count on was herself. I'm not sure that I could see her running away. She may be challenged with some things that is going on in her life, but 10 year,
I don't
10
know.
years, and you're
John
just
Chu asked, "Have
absolutely
she ran
gone.
away before?"
Well, they did say that she left and she was gone for a week and didn't nobody got in touch with her. So
So she ran away
she
before.
yeah, she
Hmm.
left before. She left
So she's
before.
a runaway.
But
She let.
my thing is the mom was so strict on her,
Yeah,
but when she found those two birth certificates, now either she her mother had her out of wedlock, but some other was telling her no sex before marriage, be
Mhm.
a lady. So she find this stuff, and that probably got to her also because
Yeah.
you telling me to do this and do that, but you didn't do it. You had me out of
Right.
wedlock. So I think that had something to do with her too being, upset, saying that she can't trust anybody but herself. She made a
see what
video as
boss
you
man say.
stated. So yes,
See what boss man say. See,
yeah, absolutely, I agree. I agree with that. But the
that's what I'm
parents,
saying. It
honestly, the
starts at
parents,
home.
yes, they had a lot to do with this child being the way. And she's not a child, grown woman.
She's a grown
Yes.
woman.
As what happened, what happened to her, as far as her situation, her living situation, her raise, the way her parent raised her. It has a lot to do with it. I hate to say that, but it has a lot to do with that. It has a
Jackie, me
lot.
and you talked about this all day, and we both came to that conclusion that things wasn't right in the home. And when
No.
things ain't right in the home, a child is going to leave and find someone to comfort.
I
And I
agree.
think that that's what she did. She went out and found the wrong persons to comfort her.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
could kind of agree with that, Brooklyn.
Okay.
I could.
Me too. I can
I
I
could.
Right.
can kind of agree
I
with
I
can.
somebody
could kind of
ran
agree
in
with that also.
And
wrong
they
I
all
crowd.
can.
in her ear
Okay.
because they more experienced to the street. If you're not
Okay.
experienced
To
in
the
the street,
street.
she don't have
Right.
street. She don't have
Smarts.
street smarts.
She don't have it.
Mhm.
Right.
So
She don't
somebody
have
that
it.
street smarts can have her do all type of things, jump through loops and hoops
Yes, I
because
agree.
she's not smart.
She's not
Well,
street smart.
well,
She's not.
that
She's not.
that's where the money went.
Right.
The money
Right.
went. That money she stole. That
Yeah.
Michael B talked her into doing that.
Here we go. See, we getting down to it now.
Yeah.
Okay, but the microphone
Cell
cell
phone,
phone
Michael.
Michael, he was looking into her case a lot. And the
Yep.
girlfriend said to
Hmm.
him, "Why is you so interested in this case?" And he told her, "Don't worry about it. She dead anyway." So
Yeah.
what I mean, how do you know what happened to this child unless you were this woman, unless you were there
There
Yeah.
you go.
to say
Yep.
that this person
Mhm.
is dead?
Yep. I agree. But when she first started to change is when she moved out of the house into that apartment with Michael B. And
Mhm.
then that's when all of her uh mother's life savings and that kind of stuff went away. She was vulnerable. She was naive,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
I think it all starts with Michael B. Uh, if you look into other cases with when women get abducted into this human trafficking ring, like I said before, it's people that you think and you really don't know that's involved with it. It's more than just one person involved in getting you into this human trafficking sex ring.
Yeah, Dre, let me say
Oh,
hi to
yeah. That's true.
Miss Lorraine. Let me say hi to Miss Lorraine. Hello, Miss Lorraine. Glad to see you. All right, and welcome to the family. All right. And Top Cat, good to see
Hmm.
you also, Top Cat. All
Yep.
right. But that's what I'm saying to
Hmm.
y'all. She wasn't happy at home. You got to
Not.
make sure your kid is happy at home. You see, for no, so you won't have to run into these type of shit. My kids were happy at home. I'm a knock on wood. I didn't have these type of situations because I was strict. I was strict on my kids. When my wife sat down and said, "Hey, you got to give them a little leeway or whatever, whatever." My wife, I'm the bad guy. She's the good guy because you got to have a bad parent and you got to have a good one. You see what I'm saying? But I was strict, but my wife said, "Yo, we got to let them do this and that," and I did it, even though I didn't want to do it because I don't want to have these type of situations going on like this. So, unfortunately, my kids turned out good, turned out great. You know, um, I let up off them, and they turned out good. They turned out good.
But
Pressure on,
unfortunately,
yeah,
sorry,
Gabby.
Brooklyn. Unfortunately, as you guys stated, it had a lot to do with the parents. A lot to
Yeah,
do with the parents, and
Yes,
that's
it's
that's
indeed.
what I'm
really,
saying.
really sad. And I hate to say it, but as you get into detail, it has a lot to do with them. Okay, guys, what do you think?
Hmm.
What do you think about
Um,
that?
Crazy.
Also, she did do, like I said, not besides falling out with her friend a couple of times, she did lie. Come to find out afterwards, she lied about her schooling.
Yeah.
She had been out of school for longer than,
Hmm.
it was alleged. They thought she was away at school. Come to find out she wasn't even enrolled in school.
Yeah, because she wasn't happy at home. So, like I said, I hope that people that's watching this show that give your kid a little break. You know, give him a little bit of break because I want my kids to talk to me. Before my kids couldn't talk to me. So like I said, Jackie spoke to me. I started listening to my kids. My kids wouldn't didn't want to come in and say nothing to me. So I started letting my kids. I asked them, tell me how you feel. Tell me,
Yes,
tell me
Hmm.
what you think. I let them tell me how they feel and what they think, and that worked for me.
but
I
right,
I value their opinion.
right, absolutely. But
I
this
value
girl,
their
she
opinion.
couldn't, she couldn't, she couldn't even talk to her mom, and it's sad when you can't talk to your mom about
Here
what's
we go.
going on in your life.
Here we go.
This is what happens, man. This is what happens.
And that's what happened. And
Yeah.
But then, but also allegedly, maybe her parents did try to talk to her. Maybe they, but she just didn't by that time. She just wasn't comfortable bringing certain things to her parents
because it went too
because
long.
because it went too long.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's no buying there.
Yeah, this is a learning experience, y'all. This is, y'all know who got young kids and whatnot, but this is a learning experience. I want this show to be educational. This is educational, because we all make mistakes. You hear me? I'm telling y'all, I made mistakes, of course. But I learned from my mistakes. I love my family. I love my kids. I love my wife. And I value their opinion. That's what it is. You got to value your people's opinions.
W2, baby.
E- even all of y'all. I value all of y'all opinions. We're gonna agree to disagree, but it's cool to agree to disagree. We all not gonna think alike because we all think alike, and the world will be all turned upside down. No, I value everyone's opinion. If you come to me and say Brooklyn such and such, man, okay, it's personal preference. I get it. No one
Absolutely.
is wrong, but people nowadays they want to be the right person all the time. You understand?
And that's
And,
how her
and
mother
that's
was.
that's the problem. You
That's how her
know,
mother was.
how can you tell me what's best for me? And y'all know I've been preaching that for a long time. Nobody can tell you what's best for me but me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, pay attention to your kids. You know, this girl was miserable for a long time, and she was plotting her way to get out.
Yeah, but you know what, Brooklyn? They were saying that her and her mom was very close, but after when her mother told her that she had to come back, and they were going to church together, they said she was moving further away, further away, further away. She didn't, she wasn't happy with her mom anymore. She wasn't happy.
But this young lady went to college. She did 1 year, and then her last year, no, she wasn't real. She's out of the home. Why go
Yeah,
back?
but
Because the mom, because the mom
college don't
told them,
teach you. College don't teach you love.
And it don't teach
No.
you
You know what I'm
street
saying?
because you need it. You
And
could
it
be the
don't teach
most
you
right.
like
You could
sorry, Judge, go ahead.
sorry,
Because
Brooklyn.
we on the
You can
same
be the
page.
most
Go ahead.
educational person, but if you don't know about the streets, it will eat you up alive.
That's right.
And
Mm,
it's the simple fact.
Absolutely.
If you don't know about it, you're gonna get anybody could come to you and say
That's
anything.
right.
Listen. The boyfriend, one of the boyfriends could have told her, "Listen, we need to pay our bills. Can you go here and be with this person? Because
Yeah.
we don't have the money to pay our bills."
See,
oh,
Miss
And
okay.
Do
that
Lorraine
I
you
that's
see
see
the
what
what
you're
I'm
reason
saying
why
to
saying.
you guys? Yes.
Well, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
and that's why she went home. Remember, her mother was paying, her parents were paying for the apartment she had. So
Yes.
her parents
Mhm.
were funding her lift. They didn't have her, they should have stressed out to her of being self-sufficient. For
Right.
her to learn that, okay, we'll help you pay so much, but you have to pay your main bills yourself. Or
Yeah.
we'll, only help you when you really get in the bind, but you really made to be paying your own bills. Her parents was pretty much paying her bills for her.
Right. Because she never had a job. She
So
never
when they
worked
stopped,
anywhere.
exactly. So when they stopped paying her bills for her, they were like, "Come home." She didn't have no choice but to come home because
Yeah.
Hmm.
they were paying her bills.
Absolutely.
Right.
But you see what Miss
Absolutely.
Lorraine say? Everyone wants to be right. That's what it is. Everyone, no one wants to be wrong, especially when it comes to parenting. The parenting, the parent always right. I told y'all I wasn't a perfect parent. You see what I'm saying? I make mistakes. You understand? And it's a learning experience. I had to learn to listen to my kids, and me and my kids is they take care of me. You know, I love my kids. I don't want my kids not coming to me. You know, they run to their mother all the time, but they don't want to run to their father. They run to me like instant right now because I had to change. If I love my kids, I have to pay attention to them.
Yes.
And I've started paying attention to them. And that's why, everybody is saying, well, Brooklyn, you and your family has a great relationship. Yeah, I have a great relationship with my kids now. Yes, for years on, because I had to pay attention instead of being like Miss Lorraine said, the one that's right, want to be right all the time.
I
How
feel
can
yeah.
that, Jackie?
I feel for her, but the mom and dad they went bankrupt. They lost their house, you know, because they had a private investigator, so they lost everything trying to find um, Phoenix. So it's a cold case now. It's 10 years later. It's a cold case now,
Yeah,
and something that I saw is they said if an adult is missing and they have a car, the best way to find them or the last place they have been seen is to say that the car was stolen. And that is horrible.
yeah,
And
Really?
the first officer that came and talked to the parents, he never even put in a report. She had to go past that. And she called him stupid. Yes, she did. She
that's
did. She called
crazy.
that officer stupid because if she's telling you this is not the norm for her child, why not put in a report? He didn't do it. So it's just crazy why
Y'all read
these
John Q. Question?
people don't do their jobs. Do your job.
Yes.
Do your job. If I say my child is missing, you have to go by what I said. You don't go by what you think. You don't know my child. I know my child, and that was the problem with the first officer. So I mean, it's just it's horrible. So
That's
he
what
said to
happened
me,
with everybody. All
mm-hmm,
everybody that we've been doing these shows, they don't pay attention to nothing. All they want to do is do their 8 hours and go home. But until it happened to their kid, then it's important. It's your kid, so it's not that important. It's
right,
always been that way from the test of time.
yeah, I agree.
And do we think it's going to change? I don't think it's going to ever change. You
Mm.
know, ever, ever
Yeah,
change.
but it's a sad story, and
Yeah, it's definitely a tragedy.
she's now if 10 years later, she's now what 30 years
Hmm.
old. So if
Anybody
you
want
if,
to answer John Q question?
okay, the parents made an official statement regarding Phoenix disappearance. Of what they're thinking that she I'm not too sure, but I think they said something about they thought that somebody abducted her.
They
Yeah.
did. They
Yeah,
did.
yeah. So
Yeah, they did make an
that's
official
what they're
statement
thinking.
because they were the ones that reported her missing.
Right.
And I, I, she just like disappeared off the first suburbs. She had a bank account, she had phones, and now what we're saying is okay. 10 years later, there's nothing. She's never touched her bank account again. She's never used another phone. I mean, in today's society, Big
Hmm.
Brother is watching you.
Right.
Everything you do, from banking, from walking down the street, this girl is not seen nowhere. I don't even think she's in this country,
Y'all
let
hear
Yeah.
what
alone.
Octavia said?
You think so?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
But
Y'all read
Okay,
Octavia's
Octavia said
question?
absolutely. My baby sister was not happy at home because my dad was super strict.
And
Rest
she
in
got rest
peace.
in peace.
Oh, you got rest in peace, Octavia?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you see what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Wow.
That's what I'm trying to tell these
Wow.
parents. These parents got to calm down and pay attention to your child.
Absolutely. That's so
It's
sad.
sad.
It's
It's
sad.
sad.
It's really, really sad.
It's definitely sad.
But I mean, what do you guys think far as the parents, far as the mother situation? Not too much of the dad, but the mom situation. What do you think, Sharon?
Sharon
I
writing.
believe, yes. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was
In the
writing in the
right.
chat. I was reading some more stuff on her too.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat the question?
I was saying, what do you think about the mom versus the dad situation? About the mom being so,
Strict.
overbearing on this young lady because she wasn't a child. She was 23 years old.
She was 23, but that was her only child. I think her mom always seen her as a child in her eyes. She never gave her a chance to grow up. The mother was very overbearing, very protective, like a lot of parents are. And maybe because that was her only child, she didn't know any other way. So I'm not gonna. I mean, yeah, the mother was very strict. She did do a lot of stuff that was very strict, and everything like that. But with that being their only child, you know, she was afraid to. She didn't know how to let go. She
Oh,
didn't know
okay.
how to allow her child to
I
grow
agree.
up
I
and be on
agree.
her
I agree.
own.
I
Sorry
She
for
agree.
didn't
your
see her
loss,
child as
Octavia.
sorry for your
Sorry.
loss, Octavia. She didn't see her child as an adult. She still seen her as a child. Even though she was 23 years old and she was a grown woman, and technically she could have just left and stayed on her own and said, "Hey, mom, I'm grown now. I'll do what I want to do." And at the same difference, she didn't want her Phoenix didn't want to disrespect her parents to a certain point too, even though she was rebellious and everything like that. And she did, she couldn't stand up to her parents. She
Yeah,
felt, you
I
know,
kind of agree. I kind of agree with
You
that.
heard what John Q said?
I don't
23
think her
left home
parents
on her
even.
own
Yeah.
accord
Read what
to
John
live
Q
her
said.
life. It could be true, but then this
That's
woman
what
is
I
30
said.
years old.
Yeah, but
Even
that's
if
what I
she
said. But
left on her own, why not get in touch with your parents? Your parents are
because she
Hello.
wasn't
suffering. Your parents
because
are suffering.
Hello.
she wasn't feel she wasn't maybe if she get in contact with her family, she feel like they're gonna drag her back again. You see,
Maybe, but why
she
would I
probably
let
want to
my
live her own
parents?
life.
But why would I let my parents suffer the way that they're
Right.
suffering if I'm out here? Why would
I
I do that?
Right.
understand.
Regardless to
That's a
if I
tough
left or
question.
not. This is you're 30 years old. Why would I have my parents
That's a tough.
suffering,
Some
looking
people
for
have
me,
problems. Yeah,
knowing that they're suffering, looking for me? It's no
some
way.
people
It's no
have
way.
problems with their parents, and they never speak to their parents ever again in life.
That could
Yeah,
be
but
true, but
it's kind of impossible for her to just to vanish out of thin air,
the face of the earth.
because even if she did leave her parents, she still had to utilize a driver's license, social
Yep.
security card,
Yep.
a bank account.
Yes.
None of that. She's
Okay.
not doing none of
Well,
that.
we're gonna take a poll because we're coming up on an hour. We're gonna take a poll. Um, how many people think that she just ran away? Right? For one is ran away. Think she's out there in the world. Two is for you think something happened to her abduction or whatever. We're gonna leave it like that. Let's get a poll going. All right. That's everybody on the panel and everybody in the chat. Put down what y'all think. One is she ran away and she wanted to live her own life, and two that she ran away and she was abducted.
Yeah, look at the trend. Look at the last case we talked about.
Yeah.
Not using credit cards, not using any other money in the bank. That's what they do. They make them disappear
So,
off the face of the earth.
But
so
what?
far
Yeah.
we got people think. So far, I see a lot of twos, not that many ones. So a lot of people saying that she was abducted.
Okay, can I just say one thing? Being that her last name, she had two last names. They were thinking that she went by that second last name and started doing things, but they was looking for her, and they said they found.
Okay.
I think about
All
four
right.
people that had Phoenix. And what was the other last name,
Phoenix
guys?
Yeah, every
Evans.
person they found the name with the Phoenix. They even went to the woman's house, and she was like,
Yes,
they'd never heard of that Phoenix before.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Everybody going with
Yeah,
two.
but they would still have to go. That Social Security number is not going to get reissued unless she got married,
Is
Right.
and it
right. That's
still
not going to
stays the same.
change.
Yeah.
Good point, Trill.
Everybody. I took a poll. Everybody majority went with two. We got
Yeah.
one person went with one, and everybody else put two. So yeah, I'll
I
show you.
mean, and also there
Oh,
was also reports too, real quick. Sorry,
see,
that she was adopted. There were some reports saying that
two,
she was adopted. Some reports were saying,
two.
you know,
Oh
You
man,
Brooklyn,
got a one.
go talk Tavia what she said. She said that
You got a
my
her
two.
sister
sister
said,
that died was abducted. Wow,
"Wow,
Octavia, I'm
Wow.
so sorry for.
Yeah.
Oh my
Sorry to
God.
hear that. Wow.
Oh wow,
can't imagine."
I'm trying to go.
wow.
Where she said that
I
at?
I, I mean, because I
I
kind
read
of
it.
go with um you know I think the maybe somewhere along in her life she did want to get away from her parents, and maybe her parents were overbearing. My mom and dad, they was strict too.
Mine's
But
too.
they
Yeah.
wasn't no joke. Hey, how these kids be talking to their mom and stuff. My mama would
Oh,
have
not
slapped
at
me.
all, not at all,
Slap the taste out
not
of
at
your mouth. They
all.
slap the taste out of your
She
mouth.
said
That's
her
how.
sister was abducted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that died was abducted. Yeah,
So I
yeah.
certainly understand how she would get out for 2 years, and she have these two Michaels, and maybe one of them did influence her to,
Mhm.
step away from her parents' home, and maybe something did happen later
You
on.
see, you heard
But
what
she ain't
John.
just
You see what
wiped the
John
face
said?
of the earth.
He said maybe Phoenix left on her own accord because they may have been something going on with the parents
That's
in
what
the
I
Now
house.
that's what
said.
I
that's what
said
She
that
was
I
before.
there.
agree
I
too. I'm
agree.
Wait,
not
wait, 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 wait,
disputing
I
that.
agree.
wait. Everybody say that, but I just took a poll.
Yes, you
And I
did.
asked y'all, y'all went with abduction.
yeah.
I
Well,
But
yeah,
just
because
said,
because the
we
question
didn't
you
put
asked
that
was,
in
did
the
she run
equation.
away or was she abducted? You didn't
right.
ask was there foul
Did
play
she
with her
leave on her
family.
own accord
But
because for whatever reason, or you think that someone
But
abducted her?
Brooklyn, you did say she might have left on her own, and
That's what I said.
somewhere
She might
down the
have left
line
on. Right,
something happened. Now I
Right.
can go with
right.
that
But
scenario because
Now,
she's
I
been
mean,
gone too
that
long.
leads into number two. Then she was abducted because she
but I
left and she
also
got abducted.
I also feel this third scenario that I asked Miss Truth Diva. I'm not Truth Diva, but I think Truth Diva was back there. I don't know, but I spoke to Miss Jazzy about before the show. I said, do you think there could have been possible foul play with her parents, being the fact that
yes,
she didn't have the
it was
closest
a
relationship, and the last known
That's what I
sighting
was
of her
saying.
was in the family home. And even though her car was left there, could the father drove the car and left
She
it there
don't want
like
to go
that?
home.
Or could a mom have drove the car and left it there like that? I mean, could it have been
Right.
something with the parents? You know,
You
what
never
kind of
that
what
could have
know.
been a
kind what
possibility as well. It's so many
She
scenarios.
did.
Yeah,
She did say that.
what kind of
Absolutely.
church was the
Mhm.
parents going to? Did
I don't
something
know.
happen to her? Was in between
Great
all that?
question, John Q.
Hmm, you
Great
Yeah,
guys are
question.
You know,
yeah,
heavy.
but
Wow,
you know, you never know. You never
that's
know.
true.
yeah. Because sometimes you could try to watch somebody too hard, and you might miss something in between.
See,
True.
he said the same thing. She might have been afraid of them.
It could because the
I
way her
believe
Yes,
she was
mother,
afraid.
I
yes,
tell you guys, the way her mother said
yes.
she wanted her to be a lady, she
That's what I'm
wanted her to
saying.
sit up straight, she wanted her to cross
She
her
was
legs.
abused at home. I
I'm
told
telling
y'all
you,
that.
something was
Yes,
not right.
she
She
must. She act
left.
like she was soliciting in her,
Yeah,
See?
she
like
left because she was
grooming
unhappy.
her to be out there.
Well,
Hmm.
I'm gonna
And
wrap it up because we can speculate all day. You know, I like doing these type of shows and whatnot.
Right, right.
Everybody is into this one.
So
You
Brooklyn,
know,
is it a clip that you want to show before you?
yeah, y'all want to
Oh
show
yeah.
the clip?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And her parents speak on
Because
that.
we can go back and forth all day.
Right,
You
but
know.
that's our. This is just our opinions, you
Yeah,
know.
no,
It's
but
our
you know
opinion.
that's why I want people to know. We like to give our opinion, our personal opinions on what we think. Do we actually know what happened? No,
No,
Yeah.
but we like
nobody
to
knows.
it makes it
Speculate,
interesting when
right? We like to
you get
speculate. Yeah,
different people's opinions on what they think.
right.
And I'm glad that everyone in the chat, they tune in with this one. Everybody was into this one. So let me share the screen. We appreciate that. All right. Oh, I got it up already. So let me bring this screen up. And we're gonna play this clip so people that don't know what we're talking about can follow in on what we're talking about somewhat. All right.
It was only a week before Christmas in 2011 when 23-year-old Phoenix Coldon got into her black Chevy and drove away from her house in St. Louis County, Missouri. Her parents say they thought she was just going to the store, but Phoenix never came back. She's been missing for nearly a year and a half.
She backed out of the driveway and we never saw her again.
3 hours after Phoenix drove off, her black Chevy was impounded by police. It was found 25 minutes away from Phoenix's house. The car was empty, the motor still running. The driver's side door was open.
I need to see Phoenix. I need to hug her. She needs to come home.
Phoenix is a college student at the University of Missouri, St. Louis. She plays the piano and guitar and is a regional champion fencer. Her parents say she's the type of young woman to always call to let them know where she is. They firmly believe she's alive. Phoenix's parents continue to ask the public to phone in any tips or information on Phoenix's whereabouts.
If someone calls, that's another spark of hope that we have, that we're going to find our daughter alive. And that spark is something that keeps you alive.
That spark of hope is keeping them alive. Phoenix's parents, Goldie and Lawrence Coldon, join me now. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
It's
for
hard
allowing us.
it's hard for you to even see that, isn't it?
Yes, it is very hard, especially the part where they were searching, and I told them before that Phoenix is not laying in nobody's weeds. She's not.
You still have her bed made. You still have the Christmas tree up. I
I
understand.
still have. We rearranged her room so she'd have more room.
Her room was a little messy.
No, it's not now.
Not now.
But yeah, the Christmas tree is still up. The original lights burned out because I keep the lights on day and night, so I put more lights on the tree.
You know, Lawrence, we learned a lot about missed opportunities this past week with the cases in Cleveland. Talk about missed opportunities. The police, they found her vehicle nearby, but nobody told you about it for what, 2 weeks?
2 weeks before we found out where the vehicle was, and the East St. Louis police had the vehicle towed to the impound yard probably 3 hours after she went missing. I understand that in a situation like that, the police should determine who the vehicle belongs to and notify the county where the vehicle is registered so that they can contact the people who own the vehicle. And that wasn't done. So we lost 2 weeks of investigative time trying to find our daughter, and we didn't know where the vehicle was.
2 critical weeks, John.
Sure.
Initially, those moments and those hours are so crucial, Anderson. And everything, this beautiful, accomplished girl fell through the cracks literally and disappeared off the face of the
And I
earth.
got to say, just in terms of sort of getting media attention, which is also critical early on in a case like this, oftentimes the media focuses on, not on African-American people who are missing.
Blonde little boy with a baseball bat. Elizabeth Smart, blonde girl from a big home. Try to fight with the media, and we're in the media. There's a responsibility. America's Most Wanted. We don't care what color you are, but Black kids stay on the news cycle for about a day, maybe, and then they fall off the news cycle. Hispanic kids are on for 2 hours.
And you've seen that repeatedly.
I have, and I've been very vocal about it.
Did the police ever say to you, well, your daughter is an adult, maybe she left of her own accord?
Yeah.
When I was finally able to convince Lawrence that we needed to call the police, and I called the police. He came out and he was writing things down, and he wanted to know her birth date, and I gave him the year, and he stopped writing.
He stopped writing.
He
when
stopped
he heard her
writing.
birthday.
He says, "Wait a minute, she's grown. She's and he started lecturing us about she's grown. She doesn't have to report anything to you. She doesn't have to tell you where she's going. She doesn't have to tell." I said, wait. I don't know what wolves raised you, but we raised our daughter to be responsible, and she lets us know periodically when she's gone that where she is, and she calls to check.
I gotta stop it there. Did you hear what she said?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Y'all heard what she said?
Yes.
She raised
Basically
her
checks
kids.
in.
Huh?
She
She
told the
bas-
cop that. Go ahead, Sherry.
No, she basically has her check in where she goes. She doesn't have
Yes.
any
Yeah,
privacy.
she said she raised her kids responsibly.
That's what she said.
You heard that, right?
Oh yeah.
You know, if she raised her responsibly, why she haven't checked in?
Absolutely.
Mm,
Yeah,
right?
did you hear about what they said about the police when they found the car?
Yeah. And you
It
heard
normally
Police,
takes about a week to impound the car. They didn't do no investigation at all. They just impounded the car.
right. And then they also said how fast minority people be posted up. An hour, 2 hours a day. You see? That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's listen on.
Also, 2 weeks real quick before they
Yeah.
even let her know about the car.
Yeah. Let's listen on.
Again,
What every day keeps you going?
she's my daughter. She's my child. And I don't know where she is. And I don't care. I'm 66 years old and I'm still my mother's little girl. And she will always be my daughter, always. And she's my little girl, even though will be 25 years old in less than 2 weeks.
Are you going to celebrate that birthday? How do you deal with the birthday?
Quietly. We're together at home, and we cry and just console each other really quietly. Mm-hmm.
John, I've talked to a lot of families who and sometimes people have said to them, meaning well, like, isn't it time to move on?
Yeah.
And as if there's some sort of a timetable for accepting this.
There is no timetable till you.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop it right there. Do y'all think if this happened to you and your kid, would you stop looking?
Heck no.
Huh?
No way.
I don't think so. I don't think I would
Never.
never stop looking. Neither.
No way.
Not until I leave here.
Even if I was a strict parent, that's still my daughter. I
Yes.
want to make sure that she's okay, whether
Yes.
it's from a distance or whatever.
Absolutely.
I need to know she's okay.
Okay,
so.
let me tell you what Miss Lorraine said. She said she was being suffocated. Absolutely, Miss Lorraine, she was being suffocated. Yes.
Yeah, and I want to see what John said also.
Yes, absolutely, Octavia.
Yes.
She left her belongings, pocketbook,
Yeah, wallet,
wallet
etc.
in the car, running with the door open. The day she went missing.
Yeah, that's what they said. They said
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's what she
So
said.
that makes you think that somebody snatched her up.
Yeah, but
And they would not give parents access to her phone as well.
Yes.
They kept trying to get access, and they wouldn't give her access to her phone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the
Okay,
information, it was a lot.
Let's listen to the last of this here.
Find out what happened to your child, dead or alive. And parents are ready to find out if they're dead.
That's right.
It took 27 years to solve Adam's case. I knew he was dead. He was decapitated. We were lucky to find his remains. But until you close that door, that chapter of your life, look at the quiet dignity of these people. You've run out of money. You've run out of hope. Your life has changed forever. You can barely go to work. And look at the quiet dignity. It never ends until you know what happened to your child and you can bury those remains somewhere with dignity. You're lucky the tiny percentage of the time to get that child back alive. And you hope that somebody pays for that horrible, horrible thing that happened to you. But there is no closure, Anderson.
I hate that word. It's such a TV made up
does,
word.
It's a TV made up room. One day I went to work and never saw my son again. Somebody ripped my heart out. I'm walking around. They're walking around with this quiet dignity, begging cops to look for their daughter. Aren't these kids and these adult women as important as the fiscal cliff that's on the news every damn day?
I'd like to say something though about hope. We don't have to keep hope alive, because our hope, if it's okay to say it, my hope is in the Lord. That's where my hope is.
Nothing wrong with saying
And
that.
He is always with me, will always be with me. That's what I have instilled in Phoenix, that your Lord is your best friend. You will never be alone. And I'm praying that is what is sustaining her.
I heard someone say, and it might have been someone in this room, saying that hope is a verb. It's not something you do when you're sitting just waiting for things to happen. Hope is a verb. It pushes you forward. It's action.
Hope is not a verb. Hope is a part of me. It's a part of me because God is in me. It's in Phoenix. It's in Lawrence. So it's a verb grammatically, yes. But as far as a human being, hope is a part of me. It's in me.
Are we gonna end it there? This is
Yes.
about to end.
Yes.
Hybrid work is here, but for someone to work from
Yeah.
here, there has to be.
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know.
That's crazy right there.
I think we summed it up.
Yeah, we definitely
Yeah.
summed it up. We definitely summed it up. But I think I hear the parents and whatnot. To avoid these things from happening, pay attention to your child. I'm gonna give y'all my final thoughts after this. So we're gonna wrap it up, Jazzy.
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it up. We over the hour, but this is very interesting. We might come back and do this one again. All right. So to my right, my beautiful wife Jazzy. If you got any things you want to say it, and we're gonna wrap it up. So your opinion.
Right. Well, my opinion is, I think something happened to her when she left home. That's my thought. Or maybe somebody, talked her into doing, stuff that she had no business doing, and she was so embarrassed about what she did, she couldn't go back home. It's a lot of things you could think of. But I hope you guys enjoyed the show, and hope to God that one day she go home to her parents.
All right. Thanks, Jazzy. Next up is my sister Sharon.
I just want to say this is another sad situation. I believe that both were true. I believe that she may have left home originally on her own accord, but I believe after the fact it was foul play, and now she's missing. That's what I believe to be true.
All right. Next up is my sister True.
Yeah, I believe the same as Sharon and Jazzy, and I'm still praying that she has a safe return and her parents have some closure.
All right. Next up, my sister Patty.
Yeah, I do also. I think that she was abducted, or she may have left home. She was smothered. I just pray that the mom and the dad find out that either she's okay or whatever may have happened to her,
Yes.
one way or the other. And that's all the parents are looking for. And be kind to each other.
All right. Next up is my brother Dre.
Hopefully everyone enjoyed the show today, and I feel that she's still alive. And as far as everyone finding her, I'm hoping that her parents do find her. But like I said before, if she is caught in this human trafficking ring, 9 times out of 10 they don't make it out of it. They only keep them for so many years, and then it's on to someone new. So I'm hoping that things turn out for them. But I do think she's still alive.
Okay, cool. All right, I get the final say on this one, so I'm gonna put it on myself. All right, what's up, everybody? Brooklyn here. What I got to say is gonna be a little different than I normally say. What I'm trying to, the message I'm trying to tell people, pay attention to your child. Listen to your child, because to avoid things like this from happening, your kid wants to feel like they are part of this world also, not just a part of your world. You know, they have their own thoughts and opinion.
Absolutely.
You see, so pay attention to them because I learned it. Y'all heard me, and it worked for me, and that I hope that it works for y'all. So we're gonna wrap it up. I hope everybody have a great Sunday night. I know this was a tragic, you know, but listen to, you know, what we say, play the show over again. The message is here. Make sure you pay attention. You know, us parents always want to be right, but we're not always right. All right. So with that said, Brooklyn the family is out. We'll see y'all on Tech Talk Tuesday. That will be this Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And good night, everyone.